So welcome back to another episode of The Grid powered by Anarock. And today I'm obviously joined by Greg Davidson from Zen Interiors. Like to introduce yourself?
Thank you so much for having me. Well, my name's Greg, and I'm with Zen Interiors. I've been here in Dubai for 12 years now,
Okay.
and really excited to be able to help people work with their new properties and transform them into the amazing home. And that's what we really specialize in. So it's really good to be here. As you know, we're one of your partners, and it's amazing to see how we're able to work together to help property owners achieve that dream.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, the whole concept of obviously our podcast is essentially to allow our audience to see why Dubai is such a good opportunity to A, invest, B, do business, and ultimately like why it really is a thriving hub. What was it that initially kind of drove you over here from the US 12 years ago? Like what got you on the plane over here?
Absolutely. Well, as a lot of people, I experienced some difficulty when the economy had the huge downturn in 2008 with the first housing bubble.
Yeah.
And so, with that situation, kind of had a lot of empty time and found a job here in Abu Dhabi back in 2012 and took that leap of faith. And as most people, I swore I'm going to do 2 years and then I'll be home
Yeah.
12 years ago.
I was one of them. I'd always be like, Dad, one more year, and it never actually evolved.
Yeah, I've one more year, and I guess 10 years now.
Yeah,
So I'm with you on that.
yeah. I'm 12 years myself in this weekend actually. So yeah,
Congratulations.
19th. So yeah, it always comes and I'm like, oh, Dubai Decade was a big one, and now I'm like 12. Okay, it's probably going to go into 20 at
And we're
least.
the people we made fun of when we first got here.
100%, yeah. Like because it was a different Dubai then. I mean, even our market with obviously property. I had a really good meeting yesterday, and we were talking about how far it's evolved over the last 4 or 5 years, and a lot of that really was played by different aspects like COVID, for example. We saw a real big influx and almost a new generation of people come into Dubai. But obviously, in terms of obviously with Zen
Mm.
Interiors. What's kind of like the biggest USP of obviously the brand? Like, how do you stand out on the market? Because there are a lot of competitors out there.
For sure.
Obviously, interiors is a very personable choice really, and it's that opportunity to again create this incredible home over here. What would you say is the major USP of Zen?
For sure. I think the biggest thing for us is that we offer a very unique approach. One of the things that we do is nothing is out of the box in the sense of we take everything hands on with our staff and our team. And we have an amazing team of designers, the guys in the warehouse, the delivery people, everybody on our team is amazing. And what makes us so special is that turnkey approach that we literally take you from design to the day we hand your keys back. I have a client right now that we're working with, and literally I'm going to see him in January for a few days.
Hmm.
And then in May, when he returns back to Dubai, we'll hand him his keys, and he will have really done nothing other than tell us what his preferences were
Yeah.
during his design phase. So that's something that's really special for us is that we're able to do that turnkey A to Z. The second part would be our longevity. Our company was started in 2003.
Wow.
So we celebrate 21 years, I think, next week. So not many interior design companies in Dubai have been in existence 20 years.
I don't actually think I know of any that have been that long standing. And I think that it's important because I think again people look at Dubai like this huge city, but really it's quite a small community. Everybody seems to kind of know other people going on in their industry, and it's a small, like I say, small community in a sense.
Yeah,
And trust and transparency with businesses is so crucial over here. Like again, the relationships you form 12 years ago, which I formed 12 years ago, I still have those relationships today. And I think, again, to do business very well here, that is very, very important. Have that long standing trust, respect, reputation is huge.
absolutely. Because we all know there's airplanes loaded full coming every day.
Hmm.
And there's so many people who have those aspirations to start. And and again, I've not been here the entire time, but for the founder and for his family to have been able to weather 2008, to
Yeah.
weather 2016, to weather all of those storms, to weather COVID
Yeah.
when things were really crazy, and still have so many five-star reviews when you check us out. That's really, to me, that's really special because it's easy, just to be honest with you, it's easy to get a designer and create a design,
Of course.
but to execute a project that's where things go crazy
Yeah,
because, as we know, in Dubai, maybe the electrician shows up on time. Maybe the wallpaper man shows up on time, and when you don't have control of those kind of things, it makes it difficult. But with our experience, we've been able to figure out how to navigate those problems so that yes, we may have some headache,
of course.
but our client doesn't.
Yeah.
That's
And I
the
mean, that's a real kind of, again, trend of Dubai. I mean, Dubai is very much like hassle free, everything's at your fingertips. You know, life is very, very good here for us. So, again, so that has to kind of fall in line with obviously businesses over here, which obviously, you know, with Zen, you've accomplished that.
Yeah, I mean, especially like if we look at the gas delivered to your house, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if we have all of the delivery services, people aren't going to stand for a lot of headache with me as well. They
Mhm.
expect, hey, if I can get gas, pizza at 2 a.m., I hope I could get my interior design done without a whole lot of headache as well.
Yeah. And then obviously in terms of obviously the projects that you obviously do, what's kind of been the probably the biggest kind of area of Dubai that's kind of had biggest impact with interiors over probably the last 5 years? Where have you seen certain trends?
Sure, sure. Of course, Palm,
Yes.
right? Of course, Palm is I guess, the center of everything, just because of the prestige,
Hmm.
and the people that are investing there are spending luxury money,
Yeah.
and so they want that property to also have a luxury interior. So I would say Palm is by far and away the place that we see the most amazing projects.
Right.
But even outside of that, I mean, we've got District One. That's just an amazing place. We've got Jumeirah Golf Estates. We've got just numerous places that where the buyer or the investor has decided, hey, I really want to make a statement with my property, not only with the exterior or and the location,
Yeah.
but I do want it to have a unique interior that elevates the level to the level of the neighborhood and the area.
Of
And I think that's a
course.
big thing.
Because I think as well, one thing I would say about the Dubai market is, you know, we are still a relatively new market compared to
Sure.
other parts of the world. And you're never going to find those old Georgian houses that you find in London, for example. So, you know, to kind of create something that's quite unique, so you're not, you know, you're keeping up with the Joneses and you're not the same as your neighbour. Again, you really do need, you know, experts like yourselves to come in and
Mm,
essentially redesign it and create it to be a unique experience for that
yeah, for
property
sure.
owner. So again, I think it's very, very important that people are aware of obviously the type of market that we are, because we are, like I say, very new. Developers go in, they create these incredible master communities, but then, you know, to really enjoy living here, we never want to be the same. I mean, my
For
mum was
sure.
always like, you know, it's good to be different. So, you
Absolutely.
know, and that's important.
Well, and there's a couple things there. We actually just had a Royal Atlantis,
Hmm.
and as amazing as that property is, the guy wanted to pretty much gut it because he wanted to be unique. He didn't want to feel like he was in a hotel where if I go to the villa right or the apartment right next to me,
Yeah.
it's going to look just like mine, and it was. So he said, "Listen, I want to invest to make sure that my place is very unique,"
Yeah.
which is a big thing for Dubai. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an important part.
And I think that's another trend again that obviously we face obviously as a real estate agency. Renovation projects now are becoming a real big trend.
Huge.
You know, historically, places like the Palm, for example, well, there's no kind of like opportunity to build extra villas because obviously land is limited in these
Sure.
areas. So now the only choice is obviously renovation projects. So how do you kind of go in and obviously, you know, obviously yes, you add the value of creating a beautiful, you know, opportunity for, again, for the property owner, but how do you maybe add value to those looking to do renovation projects? Like, have you got any case studies you could
Yeah,
mention?
we have a really good one that just happened probably 3 to 5 months ago, maybe.
Okay.
And the gentleman was able. He had a property that he had chosen to list without furniture.
Hmm.
And while it was an amazing property, I always tell people, I think a lot of people are like me. When I go to the mall, I look at the mannequin and I go, that looks nice. And then I look at the sales lady and I go, I need that shirt, those pants, those shoes, that
Yeah.
jacket, because I'm not able to put that together myself. I'm not a
Yeah.
fashion person. And I think a lot of people are that way with their homes. They walk into this beautiful house, but they can't envision this goes here, and so forth. So he brought us in. We were able to furnish the villa. Later, he was putting the villa back on the market, and the price for him to invest with us was around 600,000, and he was able to sell the house for 1.7 more than he
Wow.
had it listed for prior to decorating it.
Okay.
So the buyer saw the value even greater because now it's complete. He literally could bring suitcases.
Yeah.
That's all he needed, clothes to go in the drawers, in the closets, and he was good. And so the buyer was able, or the seller was able to see a million dirham additional profit because of working with us.
Well, I mean, because again, it's a real trend. People like turnkey, they like hassle free. Again, there's a lot of people here that have them as second homes, for example. So again, it's just knowing that, if your clients obviously live in, let's say in India, for example, that they know that they've got somebody they can trust, create again, an incredible opportunity, and then come back with like solo suitcases.
Yeah.
Because you even cover even like the crockery, the cutlery, like that's all kind of covered with you guys, isn't it?
Amazingly, yeah. And we've even had some stories that not really at liberty to share, but where they asked for specific things, and one of our ladies went shopping for the wife to get some specific things for the house, and I was just like, "That's not really our thing." They're like, "Yeah, it is our thing because that's our client."
Of course.
So yeah, the whole turnkey thing is so important, especially here in Dubai.
Yeah.
It's a unique place that we could talk all day about why Dubai is so special, but it really is. And like you're saying, the ability to put your mind at ease, knowing that a 20-year vet of the industry that has a reputation, has credibility, is able to let you enjoy what you're doing either in another country or
Yeah.
even if you're here. As we all know, a lot of people here in Dubai work long hours.
Of
And the
course.
last thing you want to do after getting off work at 6 o'clock, maybe, is drive to the empty property to approve the curtains.
Yeah.
And so that's one of those things that we take care of for you. So it's a real good situation for us to be in
Yeah.
this market.
I mean, well, that's a big reason why we partner with you as well, because, when for us, we're very much end to end. Our client comes in, again, our relationships with our clients are so, so important. So, again, working with yourselves, because again, that trust, that longevity is so, so important. So, again, that's why, essentially we are obviously partners.
Absolutely.
How does, say, partnering with Anarock obviously benefit Zen?
Absolutely. Well, again, it's a mutual thing, right? Like you're appreciating our longevity, our professionalism. You're appreciating the fact that we do what we say we're going to do and we follow through. And it's the same thing for us. We look for partners that we know have a good reputation in the market. We look for partners who we know truly represent their client,
Yes.
not their broker.
Yes.
Because as we know in this industry, there's so many people, they are literally just chasing that commission check. They're not thinking about the future. They're not thinking about how do I make sure my client is better off because of this deal. And that's one of the things we love about working with you guys is that by having a partnership with you, we know we have confidence that the people we're going to be working with that have come from you maybe are going to be the kind of people we want to be around because to use the old story, birds of a feather flock together, right? And
Yeah.
so when you have quality professional people, it's always good to work together, and in the long run, the results are so much better.
Yes.
Right, that's the thing. Like we can cut you know, I see a lot of people in Dubai that do that. I always say I don't want your first dollar, I want your last dollar.
Nice.
And if I've cut corners, if I've misled, if I've white lied a little bit, you may not give me your last dollar, but I may get your first, but I won't get your last. And so I think that's a great thing for working with a quality organization like Anarock is we have confidence, we have trust. And you know what the second part is, because of that professionalism, we develop relationships, as you said, that will be going on years down the road.
Yeah.
And knowing that we handle things the right way amongst ourselves, that's big because that's something a lot of people in Dubai don't get these days
Yeah.
because of the speed of the changes.
Yeah.
So we're real proud to work with you
Well,
guys.
Dubai historically was such a transitional city. I mean, a lot of people, didn't stay decades. They do now, but I think there still is an aspect where people will come in and go. But again, I think it is very important that,
And I think, as you mentioned earlier, about the housing market is so young when you
Mhm.
really look at it. I mean, I saw something recently, just 20 years ago, maybe 50,000 houses or something. There's 50,000 houses in process right now.
Yes.
But you know what? We're seeing with the advent of the golden visas, with all the changes, we're beginning to see. I think there's going to be a lot more people like you and I that have been here 15,
Yeah.
20, 25 years. Had a client come in the other day and, I was bragging about my 12 years. He's like, yeah, I moved here in 1987. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
you trump me. You're much better than that. But I think that trend is going to continue, especially as we talk about all of the issues in some of the markets where you guys are seeing investors come from,
Yeah.
right? Like with the safety, the security, taxes, all the issues that are driving Dubai's increase right now. I think a lot of the people, once they get here, they go, this is a pretty good place to live,
Yeah.
and let's make it a home. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there for folks like
Oh,
ourselves that
big
work
time.
together.
I mean, like I say, we're seeing trends like migration of wealth, and Dubai really has become a hub and a long-standing hub for families moving over. And again, home is very important to everybody. But yeah, to obviously wrap everything up, thank you so much for obviously coming. Obviously to the audience, all of the details obviously will be in the description below. And like I say, thank you, and continue with obviously our partnership and lots of opportunities ahead.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you.